From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Monday, January 30th, 2017. Silver is trading at $17.15 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,193 per ounce. Bitcoin is trading at 2.4 cents, and the average price of Bitcoin is $922. Antiwar.com reports among a series of executive orders signed by President Trump over the past week, one of his Saturday orders included calling for the Pentagon to deliver a comprehensive strategy and plan for the defeat of the Islamic State. Previous reports suggested the Pentagon was already working on this. If those previous reports are to be believed, the plan is centering heavily on the idea of escalating the war with more ground troops expected to be deployed, more attack helicopters, and in all likelihood a further loosening of rules of engagement. While officials were consistently insisting the war was going well under President Obama, President Trump is said to want a much quicker result in the fight against the Islamic State, which is almost certain to mean a transition away from the Obama-era tactic of escalation of a few hundred troops at a time, which mostly avoided public debate over the size of the ground forces. During the campaign, Trump insisted that he was open to a deployment of 20,000 to 30,000 troops to take out Raqqa, the capital city of the Islamic State. It is unclear if the Pentagon planning will include anything nearly so dramatic, but putting such a large force inside Syrian territory would be difficult, especially without the tacit permission of the Syrian government and their allies. Are you an advocate for free market money? Do you promote Bitcoin as an alternative in a fiat-centric world? Then you need SpinBit in your arsenal, the search engine for things you can buy with Bitcoin. SpinBit aggregates millions of products from thousands of Bitcoin-enabled merchants. Keep your money in the free economy. Visit spindabit.co today. Bitcoin merchants, ask about our merchant suite to reach even more customers. spindabit.co. UPI reports Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau is weighing in on President Donald Trump's executive order regarding the temporary suspension of visa applications for migrants from 7 Muslim-majority countries. Trump last week took action to ban the entry of people from countries such as Iran, Syria, Libya, and Iraq, while his administration develops a more thorough vetting process. Trudeau tweeted on Saturday, "To those fleeing persecution, terror, and war, Canadians will welcome you regardless of your faith. Diversity is our strength. #welcome to Canada." The Prime Minister also issued a longer statement on Twitter explaining how Trump's recent actions will impact Canadians. Trudeau said senior officials have been working to seek clarity for Canadians from the U.S. Department of Homeland Security and U.S. Department of Transportation, amongst other counterparts. I will instruct our National Security Advisor, Daniel Jean, who is in touch over the course of the day with NSA Flynn, to seek further clarification. NSA Flynn confirmed that holders of Canadian passports, including dual citizens, will not be affected by the ban. We have been assured that Canadians traveling on Canadian passports will be dealt with in the usual process. As we receive new information, we will continue to share on this and other channels. Trudeau's remarks regarding the new controversial immigration policy for the United States came a day after Canadian leaders said they are preparing to increase international aid for women's health programs in the wake of Trump's move to cut $600 million in funding over his administration's opposition to abortion. For nearly 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals like gold and silver. They also take Bitcoin for precious metal purchases and have permanently removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co. Reuters reports the Federal Aviation Administration on Sunday said all domestic Delta airline flights were grounded after a request from the company due to an automation issue. The FAA issued an advisory stating the problem affected all Delta mainline and subsidiary carriers to domestic destinations, but international flights would not be affected. The company said in a statement, "Delta teams are expeditiously working to fix a system outage that has resulted in departure delays for flights on the ground, adding flights in the air remain unaffected. Delta apologizes to customers for the inconvenience." Several passengers took to Twitter to express their dismay, with some saying they had to wait for hours before being told of the problem. Last week, United Airlines said it had to ground all domestic flights due to an IT issue. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.